Ball down. Okay, just bring it up. Ball. Free ball, 3-0.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 10 already, can you believe that, on day 1 of the 2024 Softball New Zealand Under-19 National Championships. Hard to believe we're saying 2024 already. Seemed like 2023 went by in a flash. Hutt Valley versus Auckland it is on Diamond 1 here. Hutt Valley up to bat right now, and we're very close to the start of the game. We've got Zarshaw Wallace, who was the lead-off hitter, got struck out. He was followed by Keenan Easthope, who was out there safe on first base. George McCarroll coming in the 3 spot for Hutt Valley is into bat right now. I'll continue on with that batting order. He'll be followed by Lennox Easthope. Then will come Jackson Williams. Brian Woolley will be followed by Caden Alexander Hull. Taikaha Wilson
Dead ball, guys. Dead ball.
Followed by Lincoln Foley. And we've got a dead ball call. The runner will go back to 1.
The ball is nullified, so it's just 1 strike. That's all we've got.
The call is nullified, as we hear umpire Tamaki say.
0-1.
1 strike only on the batter. And that was the batting lineup for Hutt Valley. The defensive lineup for Auckland.
Strike.
As we see the first pitch go through for a strikeout at right field is Jaden Whittle. Wade Sendon at centre field. Cyril Wilson at left field. Max Russell shortstop. In the hot corner is Nathan Ruhi. And second base is Joey Hill. Kyle Roberts at first base. Doing the pitching out there is Gabe Tahitahi. He's pitching to Casey Hutchinson behind the dish for Auckland in this one. As we see Hutt Valley now 3 down in this one. Top of the first innings. We'll head to the bottom of the first innings. No score. And after all those introductions, we'll be back in just a minute. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for the bottom of the first innings here at Fraser Ballpark. Things have just cooled off a little bit here. We've had some pretty good weather. The wind has gotten a lot stronger as the afternoon's gone on. The clouds have just gotten a bit thicker overhead, but the action is still just as hot as ever in the middle, where we have Auckland taking on Hutt Valley. No score after the top of the first innings, and we've got Auckland coming up to bat in just a minute. We'll quickly run through their order. While they do that, Nathan Ruhi is their lead-off hitter. He's followed by Joey Hill, then Kyle Roberts. Number 20, Max Russell, will be followed by number 10, Cyril Wilson. Casey Hutchison comes in next. before Wade Sendon. Gabe Tahi,
Yeah.
and he'll be followed
Long
in
day.
number 9 by Jaden Whittle.
All right, fellas, here we go.
Hutt Valley's defensive lineup, we'll quickly run through that as well. Out at right field, you've got Lennox East Hope. George McCarroll at centre field, Lincoln Foley at left. Zarshaw Wallace is the shortstop in this one, as we see a ball popped out to first base for the first out in the Auckland innings. Jackson Baldwin is at third base. Second base is Keenan Easthope. Brian Woolley at first. Jaden Hitter doing the pitching out there to Taikaha Wilson behind the dish. That is the defensive lineup for Hutt Valley in this one.
Oh,
You always expect a great clash between these two fine associations, very proud associations, Auckland and Hutt Valley. We've seen, I've had the pleasure of commentating on 2 games so far today, prior to this one, and both games have shown us that this is going to be a very, very competitive under-19s tournament here in 2024. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Gary Rohihi with you again for this one. Here in the 3 o'clock slot, although it is now 20 to 4.
low.
Locally here in Hutt Valley, wherever you are in the world, welcome.
Yeah.
3 Blues in operation in this one. I'm sorry I haven't got all of their names. Uramu Tamaki is very definitely the man behind the dish. That one's hit hard, straight up the middle by Joey Hill. Goes all the way to centre field. Fielded out there by George McCarroll. Nice job by number 12, Joey Hill, to get Auckland started. And the first runner for them on base. That was number 1, Kyle Roberts, of course, who's out there and was the second out of the game. Is the third out of the game, Kyle Roberts. There we go. 1, 2, and 3.
Hustle,
Hard
boys.
to keep up as
Good
we're
hustle.
getting into the first stanzas of this ball game. 1 innings complete, no score. We'll be back in just a minute.
He might not look like much in an apron, but that's John Miller, loving husband, relatively reliable plumber, and holder of the Bledisloe Cup and 2 Investex Super Rugby titles. Don't let the heels fool you. Wendy crushed 2 of the biggest names in men's tennis to go all the way at Wimbledon. Tony, one of New Zealand's most impressive multi-sport players. Try playing and taking out a rugby league grand final, a grand slam, and the New Zealand Cup all at once. Mary Adams came from nothing to take Cleveland to the playoffs. Where to next? Well, she won the New Zealand Derby with Ginger Nuts. Finally, meet Richard Sykes, a man with many loves, 80s hip-hop, whose dog barked Twain, and winning, specifically, the Cup final at Wembley. Now it's your turn. TAB, now you're in the game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the second innings it is, as we are here with Hutt Valley up to bat number 52, Lennox Easthope at bat for Hutt Valley here in the top of the second innings, Auckland versus Hutt Valley. As we see Lennox hits one out to shortstop, comfortably fielded and fired across the diamond. It's very close, but Lennox Easthope is out. Joining me in colour commentary, running a little bit late, Mr. Craig Wallace. Welcome along, sir. How are you today?
Yeah, good, mate. Sorry, I got some wires crossed there. Didn't realise Chop had upgraded me.
No problem whatsoever, Craig. It's
haven't missed too much, so
nice to have you along, and you haven't missed much. It's 0-0 after one complete innings. We're in the top of the second innings. Up to bat is Jackson Williams. And
not sure how that was a ball, but
nice close call there, that one. We should have, you can have some of these if you like. I'll just hand Craig some lineup so he knows who he's talking about. I'm sure he knows all these boys anyway. As we see a nice hit out to right field. It's going all the way out to the right fielder, who fires it back in, and there's a nice safe single for Jackson Williams to get things going. Craig, you involved in the tournament this weekend, or are you just...
Nah, just helping out a little bit here with you guys, but no, not doing any coaching. Going to run a little bit between here and Palmy and watch between Zara and Misha. Try and get some games. I was hoping this game would actually start on time so I could get up there for the 6 o'clock game tonight.
You're going to be doing some miles between here and there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Craig's got
Pick it up, bro.
children in both camps, as of course we've got the under-19 girls also running at Calhoun Ballpark at Palmerston North. So if you are in that area, be sure to get along, because there's going to be some great softball up there, and I'll see you up there on Sunday as we take the grand final live with Ballpark Broadcasting and Atiawa Toa FM. But for now, we're on Diamond 1 here at Fraser Ballpark. A little bit overcast and a little bit cloudy. We've just seen a steal. The runners advanced to second base. Very early stanzas, Craig, about what you'd expect from these two teams.
Yeah. I would think Hutt Valley will be pretty aggressive today. They run pretty well as a team. Tyson will be nice and aggressive with them. I'd think both teams pretty athletic.
I already had the privilege of watching Hutt Valley in their game as an end of the barrel hit straight through to centre field. That's going to score the first runner in the ball game. I'm sure that's not exactly what Brian Woolley was trying to do, but the result was very good for Hutt Valley. It's 1-0.
Big boy was trying to hit as hard as he could be.
Yeah.
That's all he needed. Base it up the middle.
Devon.
Well, I was saying I saw them playing against Manawatu. Manawatu were very gallant for 4 innings, and then Hutt Valley just put it into overdrive and started using the bats. It was
39's out.
Really was a clinic in the end by Hutt Valley to win that one by 19 runs to 3.
Yeah, they kind of just fell away in that game, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were playing well for 3 innings.
They were.
Well.
They saw
Right, Hutt Valley with a change. In the 6th spot. 39 is out. 46 is in.
As you heard there from umpire Tamaki, Hutt Valley already ringing the changes. That'll be a running change. Base runner, 46 comes in.
Yeah, Devon Cox. I don't know too much about Devon. I know he's a good athlete. He's quick.
Yeah, saw him.
I can't imagine he'll be waiting around at first base too long.
Well, I was going to go on to say that the coaching from both teams, especially in that first 4 innings, was very aggressive, with plenty of steals. And plenty of aggressive defensive and offensive play.
That Manawatu team was really aggressive this morning. I thought they played really good softball for the first 3 innings, and then they kind of just a bit of confidence after a couple of hits.
Well, it was kind of Manawatu, I think, playing maybe close to their potential, but Hutt Valley never really got out of about second gear in the first 3 innings. I didn't think. They made a few errors in the field, which cost them. Which gave gifted Manawatu a couple of runs. But once they really switched it on, they really showed us what they're going to bring in the tournament. And I expect them to go a long way in the tournament.
Yeah, they got a pretty good hitting lineup, the Hutt Valley side. They got in the final last year, and I think from the 14 that are here, then maybe 11 or 12 returning from last year's team. So pretty much here with the same team they had last year as well. So
2-1.
They'll be there or thereabouts. Both of these teams will Auckland be there too, I would say.
That is not an unfamiliar sight at any age grade. Auckland and Hutt Valley at the sharp end of tournaments, as we see a nice hit. It's gone into shallow centre field. It's well run down out there to take the catch. And for 2 out. But the runner has advanced to third base.
Yeah, I was pretty interested to see the tournament they had the other week with the northern region. Where I think Auckland ended up 4th.
Yep.
Maybe Harbour, Franklin counties in front of them.
Good to see Franklin, now their own association, coming to representative tournaments and looking pretty good with it as well.
Yeah, they've been decent the last couple of years, actually. They were good last year too.
Yeah.
In Christchurch. they're a great facility there too, where they're based. Held it last couple of times I've been up there for the
one of the best diamonds in the
Easter,
country, I hear.
Easter Classic, is it?
Yeah.
It's up that way.
Just an update from the girls' tournament, and I'm assuming it's Hutt Valley we're talking about. But they've won both their games so far today. V Southland 16-1. As we see Hutt Valley come in for another run here in this diamond, in this game. And then V Manawatu 14-0. So there's a good start off to the girls' tournament for Hutt Valley in Palmerston North.
Yeah, I think
2-0.
I think another result earlier in the day, I don't know the score, but I know Wellington Canterbury went tiebreaker. I think Canterbury beat them. So. I know it was 1-1 late in the game. I don't know what if it ended up 2-1. Or
Canterbury girls in the last couple of years have been very impressive as well.
Yes.
They have some very talented players down that end of the country at the moment.
2-1, fellas. 2-1.
Interesting. So he wouldn't move back behind the plate. I haven't seen him behind the plate for a long time.
Yeah, he's normally patrolling around the diamonds in charge of the umpires. It's good to see him back out there in action. Taikaha Wilson Cape into bat for Hutt Valley right now. 3 balls, 1 strike on him. And it is a 2-0 to Hutt Valley in this one. He'll be followed in the on-deck circle by Lincoln Foley.
Yeah, this Hutt Valley line's pretty deep.
3-2.
Foley hitting in the 9 hole.
Now, Wally, did you get away over to Mexico?
Yeah.
How was that trip?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good for us.
No.
Off field. I did get over in Mexico. It was good. It was good. There's lots of supporters over there actually.
Yeah.
There was a big crew.
Nice to see a lot of people travelling in support of the New Zealand boys.
Yeah, the tournament was strong. There was so many teams there that were
3-2.
good. I don't know where the boys ended up, 8th or 9th, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I honestly think there's probably 5, 6, 7 teams there that could have won that tournament. Like there was teams that were knocking over each other, whether they ended up 8th or 1st.
Yeah. As we see Wilson's Cape get struck out there by Tahi for Auckland, and that will send Hutt Valley back into the dugout, and they lead this ball game by 2-0 over Auckland very early. We'll be back with more from Diamond 1 at Fraser Ballpark in just a minute. There we go, as we see a beautiful shot of the hills there around Hutt Valley there, and the in bloom Pahutakawa trees letting us know that Christmas has just been, as we come back into the diamond to show us a game of softball that sees Hutt Valley take an early advantage into the bottom of the second innings over Auckland by 2-0 here at the under-19s. Just talking to Craig about the recent Juniors World Series tournament in Mexico, and Craig was just saying how it was good to see 6 or 7 teams with a chance of actually winning it. We also saw that in the Senior World Series. There was probably 5, maybe 6 teams that certainly were in contention for that one as well.
It's definitely changed a lot. I mean, Mexico making the final. I think USA beat Japan by a lot. New Zealand beat USA. Japan beat New Zealand.
On the day, anyone was capable of beating anyone.
Venezuela's strong. The Canadians were strong again, as always. Like I said, that Mexico team, they had 2 or 3 really good pitchers.
Yeah.
And just some stud kids playing defense too.
I was just wondering, if we ever seen an era where in most divisions, other than maybe women's, where it still seems to be USA and Japan, where there's so many teams that are in contention of winning the tournament.
It's definitely improved. The South American countries and Latin America and stuff has come a long way. Singapore was it?
Yeah.
World Cup. They had a kid playing shortstop for them. I don't know who he is, but he was good, real good.
Real good.
I know he played in the 23s also.
I don't know. Do you think a global influence of, dare I say it, baseball has sort of helped drag that along, or I know the two codes are closer together?
Yeah, I think also there's probably I don't know if the COVID situation with so many young kids going into the US yearly as baseball prospects, that may have slowed down over the last couple of years. Kids have. I know a few of the Mexican boys were baseballers that were from the US that had Mexican citizenship or Mexican background there. So I think that's I don't know if COVID slowed that down. That important.
It seems to have changed a lot of things.
And a lot of kids have maybe stayed home and played some more softball.
Yeah. But you're right. Mexico definitely. Say if you go back to 2004 when they were at North Harbour at that World Series, were very much the poor cousins to just about everybody. What they've done in the ensuing 10, 15 years has been amazing.
Yeah, like I said, they had 3 kids that were legit on the mound. Like there wasn't just one kid. The other kid that came in that gave up the home run, he was throwing the ball pretty firm as well. Yeah.
But you also saw the emergence of, you've seen European teams slowly creeping into the mix.
Yeah.
Teams like South Africa, who also produce some quality ball players as well now. Just the general improvement around the world. Yeah,
well, a lot of those countries are travelling too more, though. Like there's a young Czech boy here pitching in for Dodgers this year. I don't know how that came about, whether he contacted Dodgers or they knew someone over there, but I mean, I think he's here pitching for the development team. He's only 18 years old. He's come over to play his craft. There's another boy that's with Nick Need, who's here with Hutt Valley Marist. He's only young. They were both at the World Cup. There's another boy, Nate Thurston, who was pitching for Canada at the Junior World Cup. All 3 of them are
here in Hutt Valley.
Yeah. So, it's interesting that a lot of the young pitchers from around the world are starting to travel. We don't really have any young kids overseas pitching from what I see.
Yeah.
It's probably
which is a shame.
It's probably where we're falling behind,
Yeah, well, it's good. I mean, I've seen a couple already here who look pretty good. Young Jaden out here, Jaden Hitter for the Hutt Valley team, pitched very well in the Man or 2 game when he came on.
Yeah, Jaden's always good, works hard.
Yeah.
Throws lots of strikes, comes in. He's pretty poised on the mound. He's got a good drop ball, locates it well.
Well, I mean, he's not going to, frighten a lot of teams with extreme pace, but from what I've seen in the previous game that I saw of them and this game already, is he hits very good spots, maintains pretty good control and has good movement.
Yeah, he pitched in that. He was in Mexico as well. Came in as a non-travelling reserve. Came in as injury replacement for Norpeta Tangaroa. So he's just had obviously a bit of seasoning in the off season as well. So.
Yeah. There's a nice hit this time. It's Auckland doing the job. They're rounding the runner from 2 is going to come home.
Oh, no,
and number 4 is going to attack third base. He's at it. I've decided not to. And he's now caught in a rundown. He's going to go out. Nice job by Hutt Valley to at least take the out.
Yeah, he got a little lost on the base pass there.
He did.
That was a bit quicker than he was. Not too sure why Kenan didn't just chase him back there.
Yeah, he definitely had the legs on him, didn't he? He could have taken the tag quite comfortably.
Yeah, boy was in the hurt locker there for a little bit. Hit the ball hard, though.
He did. He hit the ball very hard out there.
This team is here. This team is there. You know what I mean?
So number 34, is it 34-24?
Wade Snedden, no 34.
34, Wade Sendon, yeah.
Sorry.
Couldn't quite, the wind kept blowing his jersey. I couldn't see whether it was a 3 or a 2 on the back of his shirt. 2 down here in the bottom of the second innings for Auckland, and we've got Wade Sendon in the box doing the hitting for Auckland after that fine shot. Scored them a run in this ball game, and it's now 2 runs to 1 to Hutt Valley.
Oh, wow.
Inside the box.
I wish umpires in this country would call a ball when it hits the inside of the plate.
Call the ball a ball?
What's a strike?
Strike, yeah.
It's over the plate. Like,
It is. I mean, there's something. It's something you have seen a lot of.
We have a bad tendency in this country to not use the whole of the plate, but we'll give a ball off the plate.
It's almost like anything on the inside half is automatically a ball sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, that pitch was a full ball over the plate. Like, I don't know how that's a ball.
I'm not going to second guess the illustrious Wiremu Tamaki. I'll go with his call, but yes, just as a casual observer.
The coaching side coming out in me.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, I think it's a real problem here. It's a good platform for me to voice.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we just don't, we're happy to give a ball off the plate, but we won't, I mean,
that's the opposite in the other
pitch
direction.
was a full ball.
We did see the young Canterbury pitcher in the previous game get a lot of calls on the inside of the plate, and I thought, wow, that is good, because he was taking advantage of it, and rightly so, until the Hawke's Bay boys got onto him. But
see, to me, that pitch is a ball off the plate,
Yeah.
I don't know, internationally, until we start dominating the inside of the plate again, we're going to be in some trouble, It's not helping when you don't get that zone at all.
Especially if there is a discrepancy in the way it's been called between our local umpires and international umpires. But if it's consistent, maybe it's okay, but... Nice work by young Jaden Hitcher out there.
It's a good spot, tough pitch to lay off. It's got a little cut on it too, sitting behind here at the moment. A little drop ball away, a little cut to it.
It's funny because the more and more you see young pitchers work on the rotation, the more that cut disappears.
Yeah.
And it's actually a good weapon to have if you can make the ball do it.
That pitch there, though, perfect drop ball in.
On the inside
all you can
half
do is
of
hit
the
it down
plate.
third base, ground out. But if we're not given that pitch, we tend to not use it much,
Yeah. There we go, and we've seen Auckland score a 1 run there in the bottom of the second inning, so we've got 2 complete, and it's Hutt Valley who enjoy a slim lead over Auckland by 2 runs to 1. We'll be back, more action in just a minute.
Your team lose again, bro? I've never seen a ball bounce like that before.
The weekend's for calls. Make yours at tab.co.nz.
Oh, no, my haere mai. Welcome back to Fraser Park here in Lower Hutt. Beautiful ballpark. Overcast, a little bit windy, but nevertheless a great game of softball and prospect here in front of us. Hutt Valley taking on Auckland. We've got Lincoln Foley coming in to bat for Hutt Valley. He comes in the 9 spot. We'll go back to the top of the shop following him. And a very slim lead, 2 runs to 1 to Hutt Valley in this one over Auckland. At the moment, Craig, there's not a lot to separate these two teams.
No.
2-1, guys. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Nice couple of plays made early. Both pitchers worked in and out of trouble.
First time I've seen Auckland in the tournament. I've already commentated on one of Hutt Valley's game. I can already tell you that their hitting lineup is very powerful and goes deep. So I actually would expect a similar thing from Auckland in terms of the depth of their batting.
Yeah, I don't know too. shouldn't say don't do too much. No, all the infielders will be the power of what this team brings. You know, I think that's 1 to 4 in their infield anyway. A lot of their offense will revolve around Max Russell, one of the better young hitters in the country.
Yep.
There's a lot of speed at the top with Nathan, is it Rui?
Ruhi, yeah.
And Joey Hill, you know, both put the ball in play and both quick. Kyle Robertson got a nice hit in the first inning. But yeah, Max is strong, hits the ball hard.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, having commentated young Max Russell quite a bit over the last few years as he's come through the age grades.
See, he's moved clubs this year. He's not with Ramblers now. He's with AU. Out playing shortstop for them, so that'll be good for him.
Just continues the drift of top players to the Ramblers Ball Club?
No, from Ramblers.
From Ramblers. Oh, okay.
One that got away now.
Yeah, I was going to say one that got away, but the Ramblers banner is one of the best and greatest for a reason.
Oh, it's a tough team to try and get a shot playing shortstop with Cole Evans there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely right.
Sometimes these young fellas got to move to get an opportunity to play somewhere, right?
To get an opportunity to play where they want to play, in his case, shortstop, with Cole Evans, who's
like
firmly
Cole's
entrenched.
35 and he's almost ready to retire.
Yeah.
He's going to be there for the next 15, 20 years.
Yes, it seems like he has already been there for the last 15 years, but we tend to forget he was only about 16 when he started playing for New Zealand.
Well, if he plays as long as Nate did.
Yep. There's a nice run there.
If he was as quick as his dad, he probably would have beat that out.
Yeah, I'm sure, Craig. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Dad would have just walked back to the dugout. But yeah, no, Zarshaw Wallace only just fails to beat that throw out. For the second out of the innings for Hutt Valley. Keenan Easthope up to bat. He'll be followed by George McCarroll in the on-deck circle. George very much led the offence in the previous game against Manawatu.
He had a great World Cup too in Mexico. He's one of the top hitters of the tournament.
Yeah.
I think he hit over 600, 640 or
Oh,
something.
that's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, he was pretty good. He hit every, he's easily New Zealand's best hitter.
Another of the young players I've seen over the last couple of years from, sitting here in the booth and seeing him come on in leaps and bounds. He really is a top player in the country now. There's a nice hit. It's just landed in fair territory out in the right field there. It's fielded as Easthope jets around to second base.
Yeah, good hustle there from Keenan Easthope. Straight away out of the box, looking 2 bases.
Yeah, Gabe Tahi, the Auckland pitcher, definitely got his work cut out for him here as we're right in the meat of the Hutt Valley batting, and with a runner at 2. Danger signs, I would say.
It'd be interesting if they go at George Hill, if they put him on with the open base at first base.
Yeah. You'd be tempted to as the coaches of Auckland.
Yeah, you would think so. Maybe if they fall behind in the count here, maybe if we get to 2-ball count. Playing with a bit of fire here, I think.
Back-to-back triples at one stage in the game against Manawatu. And he's just dribbled one out to first base, who comfortably fields it and takes the out. And that'll end the innings for Hutt Valley. No impact on the scoreboard. They continue to lead this one narrowly over Auckland by 2 runs to 1. We'll be back with the Auckland innings in the bottom of third. It will be in just a few minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Fraser Ballpark in the Hutt Valley. 2024 Under-19 National Softball Championships here in New Zealand. We're enjoying a game late in the afternoon now between Hutt Valley and Auckland. It is Hutt Valley who enjoy a slim lead over Auckland by 2 runs to 1. And you are going to get exactly what we are shaping into, and that is a very tight ball game between these two teams here on day 1 of the tournament, where we have Hutt Valley out in the field and we have pitcher
2-1.
Oh, sorry, number 14, Jaden Whittle, into bat for Auckland. He's the number 9 hitter. We'll go back to the top of their order, which is Nathan Ruhi.
2-2, fellas. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Hutt Valley have got a development team in the tournament, Craig. It's good to see Hutt Valley putting as many bodies as they can to get the experience in the tournament.
Yeah, I think any of the big, the bigger associations when they host should, it's no cost. Why wouldn't you? We've got enough play. I think we have 3 under-19 teams in the Hutt Valley.
Yeah,
there's enough pitching at the moment especially with the 2 boys that are playing in the Valley, being under 19 still. That's one in each team, which has been probably the reason that Hutt Valley could actually have 2 teams, because I don't think they would have had enough pitching to have 2 teams otherwise. But there's a bunch of kids in that development team who are some that are new to softball, some that are from the 17, so any exposure at a national tournament is going to be good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You kind of miss the days of even at the men's level where Auckland had 2 teams, or Wellington, or even I think when I started playing for Hutt Valley I was in the Hutt Valley second team, at nationals and stuff. But it was you get so much out of that when you're young and you get an opportunity to play against the best players in the country. That's
right. I mean, I remember with my own kids that there was always a question mark about whether they were going to make the top team or the A team or the development team. And it was always a good thing either way it went, really. You're absolutely right. Yeah,
well, especially with hosting, there's no reason not to have them out there, and I think they've had 2 games today. I think they lost 3-0 and 4-1 or 5-1 or something like that. So
yeah, I think they've just completed the game not too long ago against Counties, and I had a couple of Counties boys in straight after that game, and Hutt Valley Development went down 8-1.
Oh, was that? Yeah. With a GST on there.
Yeah, mate.
How did young Brooklyn Takawa go in the box? He's not very renowned speaker.
He said that before he started, but he was actually quite comfortable.
He doesn't get that from his dad.
I didn't keep them in here long, but I did ask them both direct questions, and they both were pretty good.
Nice. He's a big loss for the Hutt Valley boys this year. He was with Hutt Valley last year. He was living out in Kapiti and played down here for the last few years. He's a big part of their lineup last year, so he's a big loss for them. Yeah,
no, well, I know he moved to Counties to be with his grandparents, but the big thing for the softball, for the game as a whole, is he's still playing.
Oh, it's good. I mean, he's a Counties boy, born and bred. Yeah. He just had come down here with his mum a few years ago. Yeah. And obviously jumped out to play with the boys out at Hutt City with our lot, so it was cool. And like I said, he's a good hitter, that boy, so he's a big loss for this lineup.
Number 12, Joey Hill, into bat now for Auckland. As we've seen Jaden Hitter record back-to-back strikeouts.
He's looked really settled into his work now, Jaden, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's locating that drop ball pretty well.
It happened very fast in the Manawatu game. He sort of didn't take time to warm into it.
He's always been someone who comes out, throws a lot of strikes.
Yeah. But not just strikes, I think, from what I've seen, is they nibble around the edges as well. He's not burning them through the middle of the zone.
No, and he doesn't walk many hitters. Yeah. He's just not. He doesn't go to a lot of high, not a lot of full counts or 2-3 ball counts. He's pretty aggressive on the mound.
Getting good calls as well. So the battery's working quite well.
He's got a pretty tidy defence behind him too. These boys obviously playing at home, get to play on the turf all the time.
Yeah. We mentioned that earlier. The Hutt Valley boys know the turf very well. They know that you can trust it. The bounce is going to be true. You're not going to get any minefields out there.
No.
Hill doing a pretty good job of fending it off at the moment, though. Just keeping the bat out in front, making sure the ball.
He's a good player, Joe Hill. Another boy from Counties.
Yeah.
Just made the move over this year, I think. Maybe playing for Howard. Does that sound right?
Oh, okay.
But he's always been one of Counties' better players. He's always been one of the better young players in that Counties team, and
made the migration north and come out in the Auckland team. The associations up there are benefiting from being shoulder to shoulder. You reckon? I'm talking North Harbour, Auckland, and now counties and Franklin. They're all within pretty close proximity to each other.
Yeah, I guess the nature of the game. Like back in the day, you didn't have each of those associations. Or Franklin's a new association. The other ones had lots of numbers, so they didn't really have to work so much side by side. But those, from my understanding, a lot of their age grade stuff, maybe cross code. But
it also says a lot about the development of the sport that they're able to have an association like Franklin emerge and be their own standalone association.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a great setup there.
Because they were part of counties, weren't they?
You remember seeing them 2 or 3 years ago and thinking, who was Franklin?
Yeah, exactly.
But they've definitely and they've come in and they've been good from the outset too. Like their teams are good. It's not like they've just come in and been a bottom dweller and they've come in and been good straight away. Zara actually went and played during COVID when they had the Northern, Central and Southern region tournaments. He went up with young Norpeta Tangaroa and caught to him for Franklin as a pickup for that Northern region. And it was really impressive the way they looked after him. And it was great. It was he loved it. Made some good friends up there. And
you need a few motivated people in administration who can really drive it. And obviously get the numbers into the game.
Yeah, and that park, every time I go back there, it's better and better. They got some lights on there now. They got a great clubhouse. I remember going there 5-6 years ago for the under-17 tournament. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere. It seemed there's a bunch of houses around there now. There's a new clubhouse. There's lights. It's like a new park.
Development. This one is just popping out into shallow outfield, and Shaw Wallace makes no mistake of that as he cruises back to make the catch for the third out here in the bottom of the third innings. No impact on the scoreboard. It's Hutt Valley who continue to lead the ball game by 2-1 over Auckland, and we'll be back in just a minute. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Diamond 1, also known as Sorensen Field. There we go, a lovely picture of the renaming of the Diamond 1 here. Obviously, the Sorensen name synonymous with Hutt Valley softball. As we get into action here with Hutt Valley taking on Auckland. And up to bat for Hutt Valley, it is Lennox Easthope, number 52. Now we're in the middle stages of this ball game. It is Hutt Valley enjoying a slim lead over Auckland by 2-1.
It'd be interesting to see how things go here. See how the Hutt Valley boys adapt. Second time through the order.
Yeah, well, once they go through, they've seen the pitching. It's their second at bat. Also, be interesting to see how the coaches react to the game, which is wouldn't say meandering, but there's something that may be needed to shake it loose a little bit.
Yeah, hasn't been a lot of spark to. I thought there'd be a little more.
It's remained very tight. Yeah.
Ball.
We saw in the previous game the Hawke's Bay dugout get very fired up and loud.
3-1.
It was very entertaining there for an innings or two. Obviously, they were in it all the way through to the end of the game.
Yeah, I only came back for the last couple of innings of that game.
Yeah. There's a nice hit by Lennox. It goes out to shallow centre field. He's taking on the arm as he turns the corner and goes to 2. And isn't he happy with that one?
No, they're having fun.
A little bit of thrill and excitement there.
Yeah.
He's a good athlete though, Lennox. He runs well. Like he's a big boy, but he's pretty quick.
Yeah, good rugby player. Also in the off season, I call it the off season for rugby because the on season is softball.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he does.
Well, there is, when you get to that sort of level in the sport, there are decisions to be made, aren't there? It's very hard to be elite in more than one sport these days. The demands that is made by coaching.
Nice bunt.
Nice job. He's dropped the bunt. The throw's gone astray. We've seen that a couple of times.
It's gone
all the way down the right field fence. And that means that the batter is going to scamper home. Jackson Williams, number 7, scorches around the base. Takes advantage of that Auckland mistake. Do Hutt Valley to score 2 runs.
Yeah, it's a good bunt. Perfect bunt right in the middle of the first and third base. Third base bobbled it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then threw it away. Jack's pretty quick up the line. And then not a great rebound off the fence. Got past Jaden Woodall in right field. And Jack's run pretty well. So
what a great example, though, Craig, of just how much pressure you can put on the field just with good base running.
Yeah, just a bit of speed there.
Bit of speed as well.
I wonder if that's the might be something that breaks it up a little open here.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was interesting because that throw was always going to be tight, even if it was accurate. And obviously the pressure that the speed of the runner put on the fielder to get the throw across.
Yeah. And as that fielder at third base, he knows Jax is quick coming down the line too.
So now we have the power of Brian Woolley, which was shown to us in the previous game where he hit 2 out to the fence in very quick time. Struggled in the first couple of innings. A lot of the Hutt Valley batters did.
One ball,
but then, like most of the Hutt Valley batters, after the 4th inning, they all just clicked into gear.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Very hard.
Good to see Brian back playing. He took a little break from the sport for a little while. Played with these boys for a lot when they were younger.
Yeah.
Through their under 11, 13s, 15s rep program. Gave things away for a year or two. But came back last year. Came back playing.
In 23?
Yeah, I can't remember if he came back. Pretty sure he came back last season.
Oh, okay.
And played.
Yeah, 22, 23.
But this year's back. He's playing Premier Softball for Dodgers.
Yep.
And he started hitting the ball really well. So.
Well, that was an example of it because he did not swing hard at that one. He controlled that one and just put it through the hole between second and shortstop.
He's got a couple of younger siblings too. Younger brother Logan, who's a good athlete. He's going to be a good player for, he's coming through. He's playing in the Dodgers Premier 1 team as well. And young Charlotte, the young sister, who is really talented as well.
Yeah.
Probably better than the boys, to be fair, if you are Charlotte.
Jeez, don't let them hear you say that.
Nah, they're a talented family. The Woolley kids, they all hit the ball well.
True.
It's all cool to think we're all mates, so what? It's...
You're right. That
he
push.
reacts, I lose my player.
Yeah.
You don't need to touch. You don't even need to touch my player.
Good point.
That's all.
It's one pitch.
Tyson trouble there.
Oh, just a little bit of banter between coach and umpire.
Young Caden Alexander plays for the Maris Club, son of Brent.
Oh, nice. Caden Alexander Hall. Listed as the DP in this one for Hutt Valley. Watches that one go high and inside.
Another kid who played with these boys when he was younger in the rep programs and then stopped playing. He was a pretty good golfer, from what I remember.
Yep.
Gave the game away for a long time, 4 or 5 years, but he's always had a really good
nice
swing.
shot. This one's gone deep out to the left. It's gone all the way to the fence. It's the players just picked it up now. The outfielder, we're going to score Willie at home. And that was a fantastic piece of batting by Alexander Hall. Finds himself standing up for a stand-up triple.
Just mid-sentence saying the kid's got it. He, like I said, he gave the game away for 4 or 5 years. Just came back a couple of seasons ago, but he's always swung the bat well.
Yep.
He always had a really nice swing.
Time's up.
So it looks like we've got a bit of a change for Hutt Valley here. Taikaha Wilson Cape is making way for number 59. Noah. Sorry, I can't read that name. Craig, you might be
just getting young Maureen Sorensen coming in here harassing me about trying to help her with the scoreboard.
No, I don't have to.
I'm just going to make sure that. Yep. All right, Luke.
Yeah, and young Noah Cronin coming in to pinch hit here. Interesting story of Noah. He young kid I had quite a bit to do with in the schools program I was doing with with Wellington Baseball for a little while. He was one of the kids that came through that and started playing softball a couple of years ago. So
oh wow, new to the sport.
Yeah, maybe this might be his third season playing softball. But another kid that has a really nice swing. He was a rep cricketer growing up.
Yep.
Came across, played a little bit of baseball, and then came into softball a couple of years after that. Comes from good stock though. His
number 8 out.
A couple of his brothers, his older brother, Ollie's actually a sprinter. He's actually at college in the US.
Yeah.
Runs 100, 200, maybe.
Wow.
I want to say he's one of the, maybe the New Zealand under 20 champ,
Oh,
something like that. Yeah.
Blessed with speed.
Noah isn't blessed with the speed that his older brother is, but he still runs well. But he's a good athlete, good rugby player. Plays first 15 rugby for the St. Pat Silverstream first 15.
They've dominated that scene in Wellington. For
another kid who's got a really nice swing though, for a kid, especially a kid that's new to the sport. Strong.
So we've also had a break on the mound for Auckland. And they've brought in Hekanui Tangaroa, number 5, to replace Gabe Tahi. And I think, as you alluded to, Craig, Hutt Valley have just broken things open a little bit. But also, the heavens have just opened up a little bit, and it is actually raining out there. What's Hutt Valley turning on for us?
I don't know. It doesn't happen too often out here. So it's a rare occasion when you're at Fraser Park and it's raining or it's windy, so I'm not too sure what's happening today.
Many people will be calling it Wellington weather. I'm from Wellington. I don't appreciate it. Although I have recently moved up to the Kapiti Coast. So
you're getting paid too much here, Gary.
Don't know about that, mate.
Kids have moved out of home, that's what it is.
Yes. That made it easier once they all had...
Actually, in saying that...
It's the grandkids that come back in and start costing.
I don't know. We've got one that still costs us a bit. I mean, hey Denver. She's listening, trying to get me to give her a shout out. This is how you're getting it. Go and do some work.
Yeah, true. Get a job. Sorry, Denver, I didn't mean that. I was talking to my daughter's double jobs.
She's off on break at the moment, staying with Kitty's cousin out in, I think they're in Rhode Island. So.
Oh, nice.
Middle of winter.
So she's still at school?
Yeah, she'll graduate.
And I see via social media posts and things that she's doing very well over there.
Yeah, she graduates in May, so that'll be good. Save me some money. There's a good at bat here from Noah Cronin too. Like I said, he hasn't had a lot of experience in the sport, but he's a quick learner and he's got a really nice swing.
Oh, there we go. There's a loose ball, and it's going to cost Auckland this time. So Hutt Valley got it together midway through the Manawatu game and are now continuing that form into this game. And Auckland are going to find it very hard.
Got to tell.
Yeah, the tough thing with this lineup is that they hit 1 to 9, but there's 2 or 3 guys that can come in off the bench, as you've seen just now, and swing the bat well. They will, the reason they'll be there or thereabouts at the end of the week is this lineup is pretty deep, hitting wise. So
Lincoln Foley coming in at number 9, another player that's really athletic, fast. So when you can put a guy like that in your number 9 spot, it is definitely a luxury. Most of the teams he would play for, he'd bat a lot higher.
Yeah, and I guess that we struggle in the Hutt here for, we only have 3 Premier teams. But I guess at this level, you see the upside of it is every kid that's in this.
Oh, there's a beautiful bit of batting by Foley as he's put it past third base.
He's scored it foul.
And it's just rolled across, outside the base.
Yeah. So like I said, the downside is our Premier 1 comp's pretty young. But then when you get to the 19s level, you got a whole team here that play Premier softball. So you can see the upside of it at the age grade. It's just hoping that these kids stick with the game. And
that's the thing is, as it becomes a numbers game at Premier level, doesn't it? Because Wellington and Hutt Valley are both suffering for teams at Premier level. And if we're going to compete against we call them now the larger associations, Auckland in particular, but also Canterbury, then we need to keep as much of these numbers in the sport as we can.
Yeah, well, you look at, North Harbour, what have they got now? 7, 8 Premier 1 teams?
Yeah.
It makes a difference when you build the depth.
Yeah. Once
build
that
the base of
development
what you've
starts bearing fruit for them, and it already is really, we're going to see some very, very impressive North Harbour teams beginning to show out in the competitions.
Yeah, well, we our midweek competition now, we have Totara Park is also playing, midweek, which has been really good for their development as well. Yeah,
there's been some great work put into developing Totara Park as a club again in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, so hopefully they are only a year or so away from coming back to the Premier 1 Intercity comp as well.
Yep. It's hard. I mean, we had teams like Tawa advance to the Premier Men's competition in Wellington. And Island Bay, and you kind of think you're heading in the right direction, but then of course you lose a team like Miramar. I mean,
it makes it tough.
It does make it tough, and you're talking about a traditionally powerful club, much in the way that Cardinals were out of here in Hutt Valley.
Yeah, it's a great comparison. I mean, those two clubs are probably the 2 strongest clubs in this region for a long time. Yeah, and now neither of them have Premier status.
Ball 4.
You're just starting to struggle here.
Well, we just have to keep working hard, Craig. I know you and your family are one of the hardest working families in the sport, not just in Hutt Valley, but in New Zealand. And don't get me wrong, I mean, those of us who are on the outside looking in appreciate the work you guys do.
We've got our fair share of playing.
Well, I know you've got your fair share of kids and things in the sport, but you've represented plenty of teams that haven't had your kids in the team as well. So it's always good to see that there's so many people still willing to put so much into the sport. Back to the top of the order for Hutt Valley, who now are enjoying a very healthy 6-1 lead over Auckland.
Yeah,
we'll get back to what's happening out in front of us here.
This could get away here. None out. Coming back to the top of the order.
It's probably not either of us we're expecting in this ball game. At the moment, I'm not going to count Auckland out. You never do. But to force them into an early pitching change.
Yeah, and if you're not going to come out 3 strikes, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
Young Noah stealing second base opens that thing up. Lincoln works a walk, and then we're back to the top of the order. None out.
Yeah.
It can get away pretty quick.
Ball 4.
Good job.
It's a nice job by Shaw Wallace to get himself out to first base on the walk.
Yeah, bringing up young Keenan Easthope. Doesn't get any power from his father or his uncle, but
he's got plenty of talent to go with it.
From what I've heard, he's a power hitter like his grandfather Rob.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've got a couple of, well, shall we say, vertically challenged boys in the 2-spot and 3-spot. They probably wouldn't appreciate me saying it, but what they lack in height, they make up for in power with the bat. They're both very talented.
Yeah, they probably swing the bats harder than anyone else on the team, these two.
Yep. That's why they're there, I would say, in the 2-spot and the 3-spot.
Yeah, Keenan had a great 19-17s program last year.
Yeah.
He he came a long way in that little space. Those couple of tournaments he played really well. Forced his way into that junior Black Sox squad for the trials, and he played really, really well, and then continued on the rest of last season, and he's played really well to start this year too.
Well, Hutt Valley very definitely in charge out there now, and they have loaded bases out there and 0 outs. So they are in danger of finishing Auckland off early, I would think.
Well, it's
like
very,
I say, you never count out Auckland.
It's very, it's almost a carbon copy of what happened in the earlier game, right?
Yeah.
Like they got that one big inning, they scored 6 or 7 runs and put 1 or 2 away. But it looks like, what do we had here? 4 runs. We've got none out.
It is quite a luxury for a team to be able to bat in blocks like they do. When one comes right, 4 or 5 seem to come.
Down, 4-4.
And it looks like subject to the check.
Swing. Right, 4-4.
It's a tough question to ask when the run's already walking.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to say yes there.
So he's already out at 1. We have... Yep. A run scored, walked in by Auckland in this case to Hutt Valley. They now lead the ball game by 7 runs, 2-1 over Auckland. With none out still. George hard goes down the first baseline.
Elbow.
None out still, and that's probably the operative stat in the danger situation for Auckland, is that it's loaded bags, multiple runs have scored.
Tough scenario too there for young Jaden Woodall in right field. Probably could have made that catch in foul territory, but do you take the out? Or do you, guaranteed run score, or do we back our pitcher here?
Yeah.
Probably in a situation where they just need to take some out. So.
Well, young Hekanui Tangaroa seems to be struggling to find his feet since he came in for Gabe Tahitahi for Auckland. So possibly just needs to tighten up things as well.
Yeah, tough situation for him here. Comes in, that order get back up, coming back up to the top of the order. You got young George McCarroll, like I said, one of the better young hitters in the country. Load of bases, none out, nowhere to put him.
Effectively coming in to right the ship that's already been tilted.
2-1 guys, 2 balls, 1 strike.
But hey, let's not take it away from the offence that Hutt Valley have been able to mount. The reason Auckland are in this situation is because of how good Hutt Valley have been offensively.
What are we, 3-1 count here?
Yeah. A 3-1
not exactly
count.
where you want to be as a pitcher, is it?
No. He's threatening to walk in another run here. We are in the top of the 4th inning, so it's getting...
That's a good pitch, come back. Got him swinging at something outside of the zone.
George might kick himself as well. He might have put some doubt in the umpire's mind if he didn't swing at that one.
Yeah, probably with his stature, probably a pitch out of the zone.
Yeah.
Ball 4, but that's why he's in the 3 hole, to be aggressive.
That's right. Continues it with another pitch that's probably slightly out of the zone. Gets a good piece of it. Fouls it back into the net.
Oh, and this is the part of the game where you have that luxury of being able to expand the zone a little bit, right?
Yep.
His job is to drive in runs here, so...
It's exactly what he's trying to do. And like you say, the 3 spot that he's in. There's a nice comeback.
Yeah, great pitch.
Hekanui Tangaroa gets the job done on this occasion. Throws it past George McCarroll for a strikeout.
It was a great recovery there, comeback, strikeout. Takes a bit of pressure off. They get a ground ball here, get out of the inning.
That brings to bat Lennox Easthope, number 52. Hutt Valley now have been through the order. I think Lennox led the innings off.
Yeah, he definitely did. He
Talk me through it if you need to, Robbie, up there.
Yeah, base hit up the middle, didn't he?
Yep.
Turned it into a double.
He did. All the way out to centre field.
Like I said, now if you can get a ground ball, get a double play, get out of the inning, he rights the ship pretty quickly, you know.
Oh, there we go. He does it again. And the production from this top half of the order from Hutt Valley continues. So we see 2 more runs come in to score.
Lennox thinking he can turn that into a double again. Probably not as quick as he thought he was.
He got taken out. Hey, if you're going to turn singles into doubles and doubles into triples, this is the situation to do it. He's just doing 2 RBIs.
Yeah, at 9-1, why not?
Yep. The other thing is Lennox is going to be needed deep in this tournament as a pitcher. Should he be saying, hang on, mate?
Oh, like I said before, he runs well. He's always run well. He likes to, you know, he doesn't like to be treated as a pitcher, if you know what I mean. Like he wants to run, he wants to steal, he wants to do everything all the other fielders get to do.
Hey, you know, often we see pitchers sort of give up the rest of the game. Well, it's not that they give it up, it's that they get used for their job, which is to get out on the mound and strike people out.
Good job, mate. Good job.
And kind of what gets forgotten is that batting, running around the bases is a fun part of the sport. Oh, everybody likes to do it.
And it's a game, you know, our game, you know, predominantly as a child, you know, the better players usually pitch because it's the hardest thing to do, you know, and as they get older and bigger, they, you know, progress out to shortstop or outfield or first base, or they don't always
hang our hat pitching on that one because I would love to see all young age grade players having a go at pitching simply for the numbers that it creates, you know, because this country needs as many top pitchers as we can develop.
Yeah, it's definitely part of the game where we've fallen behind, you know, like we used to lead the world in pitching, didn't we?
But the factory of them. The thing is it's a two-way street, because if we've got a dearth of top pitchers, therefore they are pitching world class to batters, who's bringing the batting up, and at the moment we're seeing the other way.
Yeah, 100%.
Our batters within New Zealand, they get it when they leave New Zealand, but our batters within New Zealand are not facing top pitching regularly enough.
No, and we don't have as many players playing, you know, in North America that we used to have, you know, which is a massive difference of what you see out of what RG's doing, or the Mexican team, Venezuela. You know, there's a lot of, you know, the South American Hispanic countries that are, you know, playing over there. There's in probably, I don't know, 60, 70 Argentinians playing in North America now. You know, that used to be what we had. You know, if you're going to be one of the better players in the world, you probably have to be playing against the best players in the world, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. The thing it is in years gone by, Craig, and you're old enough to remember, you didn't used to have to leave New Zealand to get that world-class competition. As we see the innings end, it's been a painful one for Auckland. They now trail Hutt Valley in this ball game by 10 runs to 1. It's going to be interesting to see what they bring to the dinner table over the next inning or so. We'll find out when we come back in just a minute.
You should talk to me.
Fucking Lennox. I needed him to score. I needed it 11-1. Get out of here, then I can go and watch Misha's game.
Oh, true, yeah.
Yeah. Now we're going to go another whole inning. I'm going to be...
number, mate?
Oh, sorry. Okay, Bobby. Now, can you see that your camera now is facing...
So 59 is out and 8's back in. Yep.
It's tough for Jaden here, coming back in.
Cool.
Like he hasn't pitched in 25 minutes. Maybe half
an hour.
All right,
hopefully the change in the 8th spot. 5-9 is out. Number 8 is back in. This is cool.
Okay. Alright, how are we going, Kerry? Okay, now did you say you took a battery off the front? Okay, now I want you to that front device.
It's probably not what they needed straight back.
No. one pitch, one out.
Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here at Fraser Ballpark, where it's all ahead of Auckland in this ball game, as Hutt Valley have commanded them to the tune of a 10-1 lead. Auckland with so much work to do hasn't been helped by the lead-off hitter Max Russell. One pitch, one swing and out. He is the first out here in the bottom of the fourth innings. Number 10, Cyril Wilson up to bat for Auckland, and Craig, I mean, you'd say the ball game is pretty much gone from Auckland, but test their reserves, test their mental fortitude to see how they respond to a deficit like this.
Yeah, I guess you look at the dugout, the body language isn't great. Yeah, but it's day one of the tournament, It doesn't really mean too much. You qualify, you go through, and I'm sure they're a good enough squad to come back and fight their way back into this tournament. You're
right, a team like Auckland off in a tournament on the first day, it's your peril. Similar with Hutt Valley and plenty of other associations that are represented here. You always say you don't win a tournament on the first day.
No, and they're going to have
conversely,
they'll have plenty of depth, and they're still swinging the bats well.
That one's going to find the grass in shallow left field. It is comfortably taken out there by Lincoln Foley, but Auckland with one out get underway in this one with a runner at first, bringing to bat number 4, Casey Hutchinson.
Yeah, and he drove the ball off the right field fence last inning.
Yeah.
I mean, last inning.
Would have been, yep.
When he was up last, so, they can, the only one way to fight your way back into this game is hit your way back in, right?
Yep.
And then on the other side of the coin, I guess Jaden trying to get a ground ball here, get out of the inning.
Yeah, he's going to keep the ball low to a guy that's already lined him out to the fence, I would think. Try and keep it on the deck if it does get hit.
Yeah, well, this last time up, he threw him a drop ball, he elevated a little bit, and he didn't miss it.
Yeah, against good batting, the last thing you want to do is hang your drop ball.
Yeah, I'd be thinking to be trying to get a little ground ball to third base shortstop here and turn a double play. Well, there we go.
Or he could get a straight catch at second base, followed up by getting the out of one.
Yeah, great catch by Keenan.
That was a great catch there, and that goes on the highlight reel along with the other two that I mentioned today so far at second base. But nice work by Hutt Valley. They get out of this innings in fast fashion, and that'll keep Craig happy as he wants to get on the road shortly. But we'll find out what happens when Hutt Valley come back in just a minute.
Should have stayed at second.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The scoreboard should tell the story, but it doesn't. But the story is 10 runs to 1, Hutt Valley over Auckland. You would not have predicted it prior to prior to the game starting. But yes, indeed, it is Hutt Valley. Definitely putting Auckland to the sword. We're in the 5th innings, and if Auckland are not able to get out of this one cheaply and then score some runs of their own, this ball game is in danger of being over early.
Yeah, it was a big inning last inning. How about he scored 8 runs?
Yeah.
Strike.
We've got some patchy weather here at Fraser Ballpark at the moment. It's differing between
3-1.
rain, cloud, and sun and wind. So there you go, 4 seasons in one description.
4-4.
It's like another beautiful day at Fraser to me, Gary.
Ah, yes. Well, I've already said several times that Hutt Valley Softball Association have painted a picture here with the Pahutakawa out there and the way they've groomed the fairway.
That's why we got the turf, mate, so you can't tell it's raining.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not raining here, it's raining in Upper Hutt. It's blowing here.
Good point.
Yep. But right, we've got Hutt Valley with a runner out on first base, which is number 55, Caden Alexander Hall. Taikaha Wilson Cape is into bat right now. And Hutt Valley enjoying a comfortable lead in this ball game, 10 runs to 1 over Auckland. This one's popped up. It's going into centre field. He's going back towards the fence. He ends up not taking it in the end, and that is not the first one I've seen misjudged in centre field today. There have been several out there that have been misjudged in centre field
Ball
today.
just keeps carrying today, eh? Like that's like you're right. I've only watched 2 games today. I've seen that happen 4 or 5 times already today.
Yeah, they're just misjudging the maybe the strength of the wind as it gets up above the trees.
You go ahead.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like a lot of wind out there till the ball gets up high, like you said, and then it just keeps carrying.
You got time, bud. I got you.
Well, we saw Jaden Hitter in his first at-bat against Manawatu put in quite a gentle swing, and it carried all the way over the fence. So I commentated at the time that I didn't think he'd hit it hard enough for it to get there. But it went over by a
it just
good
kept
meter.
carrying.
Yeah. But he's not the only centre fielder out there, young Sendon, who's misjudged a fly ball.
No. There was, like I said, the Manawatu Hutt Valley game I watched.
Yeah.
There was probably 5 or 6 balls that dropped that I wouldn't have thought would drop, or kept carrying.
In the end, you kind of backed onto the fence. You really have no choice. You're out there and you've got to come forward rather than risk having to go backwards all the time.
0-2.
It's just too difficult in these conditions. Definitely favour the batter.
Yeah. Yeah, back in trouble real quick, can't they, too? You know,
they
come
are.
out. First 2 hitters both get on base. Back into
still no
outs. Couple of runners on.
Danger territory.
Yeah. What are we in the 9 hole here, too?
Yep. And you're going to come back to that, what's becoming a fairly fearsome top order. But not only that, though, Lincoln has batted well in this game as well.
Time's out, guys.
As we see the runners advance to 2 and 3.
Yeah, like I said before, there's not too much of a difference between, the top of the order and the bottom of the order here.
Mm. Yep.
2 ball, 2 strikes.
It's definitely the top of the order that has led the charge since they sort of clicked into gear in sort of the 4th innings of that Manawatu game. But the bottom of the order has definitely come up. Oh, there's another one misjudged. And there is some terrible catching. Not terrible catching, I won't say that. Just some terrible judgment. And that's brought about largely by, I think, misjudging the wind out there, Craig. I really do.
Yeah, I think a little bit there too. Just caught out with the on the turf, you obviously can't wear the cleats, and then he goes out to the grass. He actually slipped over, trying to get to the ball. So footwear let him down there too as well.
Well, it's a tough one because they're not allowed to wear the steel cleats on the turf.
Yeah.
And yet especially second and shortstop spend a lot of time out on the grass.
Nice pitch. Good spot.
It's a nice pitch, as you heard from umpire Tamaki. Nice strikeout by Hekanui Tangaroa.
35 for 30.
34. Ooh.
Runners at 2 or 3. They're back to they're at the top of the order.
3-0, 35. Alrighty.
They're bringing Mitchell Shields into bat.
He's first spot, 30 out, 3-5 in.
DPing for Zarshaw Wallace, who deserves the rest because he has batted very well all day today.
Yeah, Mitchell Shields just returned actually from playing rugby in Wales, I believe. Was spent 3 or 4 months over there at the end of his season, and went in school exchange, played some rugby over there. So just come back into the country and maybe 3 weeks ago.
Isn't it amazing how many of our youthful sportsmen spend time overseas these days? It was such a luxury when we were younger to hear of, you're going to play overseas. That's incredible.
Yeah, I think they had Wairapa College had an exchange, from what I understand. Him and another young player went over, spent their season there, and I think 2 or 3 boys are coming over to play in the New Zealand winter, I think. Something like that anyway.
Oh, nice one.
Another boy who's a pretty good rugby player too, Mitchell Shields. Captain's Waikato, from what I understand.
Oh, yeah.
2-1.
Yeah. Number 8. I could be wrong there, Gary, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Yeah, well, he's got the height for it, but she's going to put some weight on those bones if he's going to go.
Another one that pitches as well.
Yep.
Pretty tidy third base shortstop.
Hutt Valley, with the addition of the international boys, are blessed with a bit of pitching at this
2-2, guys. 2 ball, 2
in
strikes.
both teams. Here we go. The out gets taken.
I think young Max Russell didn't realise Mitchell was as quick up the line as he was.
Yep. They definitely
Still got
it.
Another run scores. It's now 11-1 to Hutt Valley.
Already. Flip.
Shields go out. He's the second out.
And then I'll make that over entry on the next one in the break.
There is a runner at 3.
4-3.
Tyson's ringing the changes now.
Tyson making sure all the Hutt Valley batters get a bat against the Aucklanders.
He's just trying to slow me down.
Yeah. Knows you're trying to get him arms from North Craig. I'm sorry, man. We didn't engineer this.
Gotcha. Hutt Valley temporary runner. That's number 1. Number 2.
It's all right. This is my nephew
In the
anyway,
second
Tommy,
spot,
coming into hit. So.
Number 3. 3's out, 48
for Hutt Valley.
Yep.
And it's not a let off for Auckland because he was in the starting lineup in the first game.
Yeah, another good young rugby player plays fullback for the Stream First 15. Maybe Hurricanes under 18 squad as well. I'm not too sure. Something like that. He's another one that, to be honest, I don't know how much longer we'll have him in our game.
Again, another one that going to have to make a decision about elite sport.
Yeah, I think his choice would be pretty easy, to be fair. Like I said, this is my cousin's son, and he's been a great rugby player his whole life. He just came and played softball with his cousin for a few years, so. But he's
obviously doing well at
it.
He's
a good softballer too. Yeah. Just a good athlete, good touch player.
Yeah.
But like I said, this might be the last year we have with him in softball, I would think.
Well, we're a grassroots sport, Craig. We can't compete with money, unfortunately. And it's not just money in that they're potentially going to earn money in a sport like rugby, but it's money in that the development of talent is poured into it as well.
And you get to the stage, that 17, 18, where the demand from both sports becomes a lot more. So
It does.
He hasn't played a lot of softball this year,
Yeah,
because
of it.
Yeah. He had rugby, then rep rugby, then sevens, touch, so just probably, I don't know, a handful of softball games maybe this season.
So you've seen the third out there for Hutt Valley as this game is heading towards a conclusion. 3 outs now for the game. It's 11-1 to Hutt Valley. as the changes continue to be run by both coaches. And we'll be back in just a minute to see what shapes up for Auckland in the final outcome.
We've got 11 to go. Number 11?
Yeah, 11's coming into pitch.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the bottom of the fifth innings, and what that means in the situation of this ball game between Auckland and Hutt Valley is that Auckland have an enormous mountain to climb just to get themselves to stay in the ball game. It is 11 runs to 1 to Hutt Valley, who have made no race of this ball game, to be fair, and they've made a change on the hill out there. They bring in the Canadian pitcher that they've been keeping up their sleeve, Nicholas Need, who comes in to replace Jaden Hitter. And this is our first look at the Canadian pickup, who has played for Canada in junior level.
Yeah, pitched Canada to the third place in the fourth at the bronze medal game this year at the Under-19 World Cup, whichever it was. It was actually good to I met up with Nick and his dad, Bruce, at the World Cup. Had a chat to him, and so quick hello to Bruce. I'm sure he'll be watching. He posted up the schedule today, so he'll be happy to. It's probably pretty late over there now. What are we? Oh no, might not be, but yeah, he'll be up watching his son on the other side of the world.
Yep.
So that'll be exciting for the Need family.
Nice, and Canada continue to be obviously a major force in world softball. But obviously, like the rest of us, we've seen the rise of especially the South American countries.
Yeah.
Venezuela, Mexico, obviously Argentina for a number of years now.
From what I've seen from Nick, he's been around home a couple of times. He's made some really good friends here. Seems like a great kid.
Nice.
Spend a bit of time with the boys in this team. So, he seems to have fit in pretty well, pretty easily. So.
Already from what I've seen, he throws with some power.
Yeah, he throws good velo, and he throws really good spots, throws good lines. Pitched in the ICs from this year, from what I understand. He's had a big season. Pitched in the ICs, pitched at the Junior World Cup. Now he's over here pitching again. He's pitching in under-19 nationals here too. So,
what would you say to these young players? They play their own season. They go and play ISC. They may play an international program and then go for a rest. Do you think they still need to? Injury aside,
there's plenty of gap in between when the season finishes in North America and the season starts here, and the other way around. I mean, when the ISC's finished roughly around the 20th of August, and when did we start? The October. You got at least 6 weeks in there.
Yeah.
We finish our softball second, third week in March, and they don't really start their big tournaments till end of June. So there's a big enough gap to do it.
I'd be more in favour of more is better. There must be a time to program rest. I understand that; it's an important part of it, but certainly not like whole seasons.
No, but there's plenty of rest.
If your body needs refurbishment for medical reasons, I completely understand.
Yeah. But the other thing too, the other side of it is if you're doing it a lot, you're going to get better at it.
Yeah.
Like I would hesitate to guess that kid's come a long way in the last year.
Yeah. Absolutely, and that's one of the points I'm making. Surely, they're doing it more regularly and all the time, and in these guys' case, full time, is going to make you a better player.
Yeah, well, we're probably at a stage just in my own team here at Hutt City. We've got a few boys that have just finished high school or just finishing high school. Some go into university, some will take up a trade. Some might want to travel. It's not going to hurt them.
The sport has for keeping them in the sport, isn't it? Is that need for them to get out and start living their life at this age grade, especially.
Yeah, and Nick comes out straight away, back-to-back strikeouts.
Nice work.
Like I said, good kids, fit in really well with the boys. Spends a bit of time, with the young lads. Like I said, I've seen he's been around home a couple of times. Seems like a good kid, well mannered. Typical young Canadian fella.
Definitely going to be an asset to this Hutt Valley side to come. When you can walk on in this, all right. There's no pressure on it for him. He can come out and pretty much throw what he wants. But 2 strikeouts right off the bat, excellent.
Yeah, well, job's been done, hasn't it? Just come in, finish it off, get some exposure, get comfortable out on the mound. Obviously, too, just mound's different. They're not throwing off the dirt.
That's
over there. Out on the mound, it'd be good. Obviously, it's his home park, so that makes things a little easier. But
we're one of the few countries now, Craig, I think that do use rubber mats and things like that for pitching off.
Not a fan, to be fair, but we don't
have the all-year conditions, to be fair, as well.
Well, there you go.
In 1 minute you're in bright sunshine, then you're in rain, then you're in wind, and that's just this afternoon. But there we see 3 straight strikeouts for the young Canadian playing for Hutt Valley, and that was an impressive clinic put on out there by Hutt Valley to put to the sword a team as traditionally strong as Auckland. Craig, how did you see it?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think it was pretty same as the Manawa 2 game earlier. Hutt Valley kind of took 2 or 3 innings to get into their work, but when they did, like I said a couple of times on here, it's a pretty tough lineup to get through hitting wise. Like I said, it is a downside in Hutt Valley to not have many teams, but it also gives these young kids a lot of exposure to Premier softball and in the intercity comp, seeing a Josh Pettit, a Riley Markey, or a Josh Merritt, and then coming out and facing guys out here, it's tough. But in saying that, Auckland will bounce back, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Look, ladies and gentlemen, and it's kind of meandered to a finish. Hutt Valley, very exciting for a couple of innings there when they really did put Auckland to the sword. Auckland, in the end, after scoring 1 run, really got left behind by the Hutt Valley team that in the first day of the tournament are setting themselves up as one of the teams to watch. We've already said before, though, you don't win or lose a tournament in the first day. So tune in for more, because we'll be back very shortly. But for now, this one is done. Congratulations to Hutt Valley. They take the win in this one, and they march on. Gary Rahihi, Ballpark Broadcasting. I'm signing off for today. Craig Wallace, my colour commentator. Good luck to you. Safe travels to Palmerston North, mate.
Yeah.
And
I'll see you again tomorrow.
For Chopper doing the video switching for me. Thank everyone very much, and goodbye. Thank you.